Good morning, YouTube. Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today with a special video, our 500 subscribers video. I'm super excited to get 500 subscribers. I didn't really figure that the YouTube channel would ever get to 500 subscribers, especially considering that we had some family medical issues and me changing my employment status and everything has had things a little wild, and the YouTube channel has just been on the back burner, but still got to 500 subscribers somehow. But I figured that today, since we've got 500 subscribers, I really just like to take this time to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel and who follows along on the videos. I'm super grateful that people subscribe to the channel and actually find value in it. And I figured, since today is the 500 subscriber video, that I would make a video more for my subscribers. And I know a lot of people come to these videos for informational stuff, and so I'm gonna try to make this a little bit of an informational video. So I'm gonna try to just go through, give y'all a little bit of updates on stuff that we got going on, and maybe throw some facts at you that you didn't know, and hopefully you'll learn something from this video. So let's get started. So if you've been a subscriber to this channel for any length of time, some of this stuff you probably already know just because you're interested in it, or I may have mentioned it on a previous video. But hopefully there will be at least one thing that you didn't know. I'm standing right here in front of my little Kataba tree that I planted back about a year ago, I guess. And it's been doing great with the pillow and cradle method of planting. As you can see, I'll come over here and get the camera turned around. We got the pillow and the cradle, bunch of fire ants in this bed, but it doesn't seem to be hurting the tree at all. If you're not familiar with the Kataba tree, or catalpa, people pronounce it in different ways. It is a perennial deciduous tree that when the moths are introduced, produce a worm called a Kataba worm, and they're excellent for catfish bait. This is also a very rot resistant timber. The southern catalpa, which is this tree right here, is less rot resistant than the northern, so keep that in mind. These can also be grown from cuttings, so you would want to take hardwood cuttings in the winter. You might be able to do them with softwood cuttings like this green growth right here, but I would think that best bet would be to do it with the hardwood cuttings like I've done with this one. Let's move on to the next fact. Next fact, if you keep rabbits, you probably already know this, but rabbit manure has a lot of uses. You can use it in your garden as fertilizer, but another thing you can use it for is for worm food. So I've got this rabbit manure capped here, and I'm about to start mixing, just to keep from having to rake rabbit manure all the time. I'm about to start mixing these shavings with the rabbit manure and then wetting it all down and throwing it in barrels like this for worms. But I've got this here just capped, and I've got rabbit manure underneath all this, and it is a little warm, but right here on top where I had some of the really hot stuff, but underneath it with some of the cold manure and mixed with a little bit of dirt. This up here is going to be a little warm because it's got some pee in it, but down below it I've got earthworms, and earthworms absolutely love to eat rabbit manure. You can also, if you'll dry the rabbit manure and put it in trays, you can grow stuff like mealworms, and makes an excellent feed for them. Another thing that I've heard you can do but have never actually tried it myself is you can feed rabbit manure to catfish. I'd look into that a little bit more, but that's something I've always heard, so it might be something worth checking out. Another homestead, in fact, I guess this is going to be number 3 if you count it by group or whatever. I'm sure I've done a lot more because I told y'all a little bit about the Kataba tree and then some rabbit manure, but I'm not going to keep count on this one. The mulberry tree here is starting to put out some fruits. It's an awesome tree for homesteaders if you have ever had one, you know that they produce a ton of fruit. Chickens, pigs, ducks, geese absolutely love the fruit. Excellent food source. The leaves are about equal in protein and nutrients to soy, and so they're excellent rabbit feed. I like to feed it along with some other high fiber type leafy greens, and you can propagate them really easily from seed. You can buy seed online. I get mine from Twisted Tree Farm, and I buy about 1,000 seeds and plant them. They're super easy. You got to be sure to keep slugs off of them. So the way I do it is I plant it in beds with fire ants in them now, because the one bed that I had that I planted the mulberry seeds in that had fire ants all in it, slugs didn't want anything to do with that. The other bed, they ate every single seedling I had. Another way that you can mitigate that, if you don't want to have to deal with fire ants like I do, then you can plant them inside in trays and then set them out once they get up a little bit bigger. The slugs tend to eat on just the nice little tender, shoots. If you can get them up a few inches and then set them out, that would probably mitigate the problem. So another quick little tip for you. If you don't have any kind of farm animals, which if you don't, you should fix that quickly and get some kind of animal on your homestead. But if you don't, and you need access to fertilizer for your plants for cheap, you can always mix your pea into some water and water your plants with that. I think that it's something crazy like each person produces, I want to say, enough urine to be able to fertilize 2 4x8 raised garden beds. That's a lot of fertilizer that just goes down the toilet. So if you love your plants, pee in a pot or a watering can, and then add 10 parts water, and you're ready to go. So this right here is a new little experiment that I got going on. I've got a mixture of biochar, rabbit manure, and worm castings that I made into a mixture to plant some sugar snap peas with. So I've got these planted here along this little fence here where I've got my willow cuttings. As you can see, they're all about, can I get my knee in the shot with them? They're above knee high now, so they're all around like 2, getting close to 3 foot. And we are only in end of April. We're about to be in May, so looking really good on that. And I got this idea from the Masanobu Fukuoka method. I've heard his name pronounced different ways. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. There's our baby Scoter right there. She's been doing a great job. So yep, somebody's been doing a great job. Somebody's addicted to belly rubs, especially when they get in the pond and get nasty. They like to come and have their belly rubbed. But I took wads of this stuff and put it down and just planted a seed. He'd do it with clay balls, but if you think about it, you could do this with a garden bed. You could just set up your, and I've done it with ours right now. Is it's like a little manure packet. You just throw it down with a seed in it, and rather than having to make trenches or dig furrows or build up little hills, you just do it like this. And you can see we got little peas starting to come up, and they're gonna do great. Now they're nitrogen fixers, so a lot of this stuff isn't necessary. They'll get up with bacteria in the soil that will attach the root nodules and help them fix nitrogen out of the air. But any fertilizer that you put on the ground always helps. A lot of our stuff in here that's growing are really nitrogen hungry, so I'm hoping that the peas will pump a lot of nitrogen in with their roots when we cut them all down to feed them to the rabbits and eat the pea pods. I'm hoping it'll give a little bit of a nitrogen boost to these willows that are right here on the edge. But inside there, I've got tons of leaf matter, and I put down tons of rabbit manure just to fertilize these trees. I'll also be fertilizing them with a lot of peas. So we'll have really, really nice looking trees for the 2025 bare root tree sale. Well, like I've said, I've been a little short on time just because of the stuff that's been going on in life. But I want to thank everybody again for subscribing and following along on the channel. I really appreciate it. I have made relationships through the channel that are great. I have been able to learn from others and also to be able to give back some. I know that social media, as far as like YouTube and podcast and books and audio books, have helped me so much that I felt like it was time to be able to give back to some people. And I just appreciate it. I thank everyone who's been watching. And I'm probably going to end the video there, but 500 subscribers, y'all. Hopefully the channel will continue to grow. I'm looking to get a lot more organized and be able to have more videos for y'all. If you enjoyed this video that was the little, fun facts, let me know. That may be one of our videos that we do is, one day a week we have a just fun facts video where I go through and just talk about several different things, maybe show y'all a few little experiments that I'm doing and stuff that's working, stuff that's not working, etc., etc. But if you've got anything like that, go ahead and drop it down in the comment sections. I've been thinking about doing an update and like a Q&A type thing. I know that in the comments you don't always get the best interactions, and sometimes it's not real easy to convey messages there. So if anybody's got any questions or anything they'd like to see updates on from previous videos, drop that down in the comments too, and I'll try to make some videos about that as well, maybe pick a day. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do so. That way we can get to 1,000 subscribers. And leave a like if you found this one helpful. I appreciate all y'all watching. We'll see you in the next one.